In the small, picturesque village of Ramnagar, nestled amidst the rolling hills, the onset of winter brought an extra chill. The villagers, wrapped in thick woolens, bustled about their daily routines, their breaths forming misty clouds in the frosty air. Among them was a small, modest eatery known as Suman's Dhaba, run by a pair of enterprising sisters, Suman and Meena. Suman, the elder sister, was a warm-hearted woman in her mid-30s, known for her resilience and determination. Meena, the younger, was in her late 20s, brimming with youthful energy and enthusiasm. The sisters had inherited the dhaba from their late parents, and despite the many challenges they faced, they managed to keep it running. Their dhaba was a simple wooden structure with a thatched roof, a few tables and benches, and a large hearth that crackled with warmth. The dhaba was popular among the villagers for its hearty home-cooked meals. In the winter months, Suman and Meena served steaming hot chai, parathas, and a variety of lentil dishes that provided much-needed warmth and comfort to their patrons. However, this winter was particularly harsh. The temperatures had dropped significantly, and the small thatched roof of the dhaba was barely able to keep out the biting cold. The once comfortable eatery now felt like a drafty, unwelcoming space. The walls, made of woven bamboo and mud, had started to deteriorate. The sisters were deeply concerned about the well-being of their patrons and themselves. One evening, as the wind howled outside and the cold seeped through the gaps in the walls, Suman and Meena sat by the hearth trying to keep warm. Meena looked at her sister with worry etched on her face. "Did you see the state of the roof today, Didi? The thatch is coming off and the walls are getting worse. I don't know how we will manage this winter." Suman sighed, her face weary. "I know, Meena, but we don't have enough money to repair everything. We'll have to make do with what we have for now. We can't let the dhaba close down. It's our livelihood." As the sisters continued to discuss their problems, a few regular patrons trickled in, their faces red from the cold. The dhaba was their refuge from the harsh weather, and despite the deteriorating conditions, they were grateful for the warm food and the comforting presence of the sisters. As days passed, the cold grew more intense. Suman and Meena did their best to maintain the dhaba's operations. They would stoke the fire in the hearth to keep the main dining area warm and prepared hot, filling meals to keep their patrons cozy. But the relentless cold was taking its toll on their small establishment. Suman had to cut back on expenses. She was forced to reduce the portions of some dishes and look for cheaper ingredients. This change did not go unnoticed, and some of the regular customers began to grumble. Meena, ever hopeful, tried to maintain a positive attitude and encourage their customers with her warm smiles and cheerful demeanor. One particularly frosty morning, Meena went out to buy supplies. She walked through the village, her breath visible in the icy air. The villagers, despite their own struggles, were sympathetic to the sisters' plight. An elderly woman named Kamala, known for her wisdom, approached Meena as she walked. "Meena, I hear you are having trouble with the dhaba," Kamala said, her voice filled with concern. "The winters are harsh this year. Why don't you talk to Prakash, the village carpenter? He might be able to help with repairs." Meena's eyes lit up with hope. "Thank you, Kamala auntie. I'll speak with him right away." When Meena returned to the dhaba, she found Suman still busy in the kitchen. She relayed the conversation with Kamala and the suggestion to consult Prakash. Suman agreed that it was worth a try and decided to meet with Prakash that very day. Suman and Meena visited Prakash's workshop. The carpenter was a burly man with a kind face. His workshop was filled with the scent of wood and sawdust, and he greeted them warmly. "Hello, Suman, Meena. What brings you here?" Prakash asked as he worked on a wooden chair. Suman explained their situation, detailing the problems with the dhaba and the urgent need for repairs. Prakash listened intently, nodding in understanding. "I can see how tough it must be for you," Prakash said. I'll help you with the repairs. I can't promise to fix everything, but I'll do what I can. However, I need to know if you can cover the cost of the materials." Suman and Meena exchanged worried glances. They had been struggling financially and did not have much money left. Meena stepped forward. "We don't have much right now, but we can pay you in installments once the business picks up again." Prakash thought for a moment and then nodded. "All right, I trust you. Let's start with the most critical repairs first." With renewed hope, Suman and Meena returned to the dhaba. The next few days were filled with the sound of hammering and sawing as Prakash worked on the repairs. The dhaba slowly began to take on a more secure and welcoming appearance. The repairs were progressing, but the financial strain on Suman and Meena continued. The villagers noticed the improvements and appreciated the efforts of the sisters and Prakash. Despite their own hardships, many people rallied to support the dhaba. One evening, as Suman and Meena were preparing dinner, a group of villagers arrived with bags of supplies, flour, vegetables, and spices. They had pooled their resources to help the sisters. The group included Kamala, the village school teacher, and a few farmers. "We know you are struggling and we wanted to help," Kamala said. "We've brought some supplies to ease your burden." Suman's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "Thank you so much. Your kindness means the world to us." With the new supplies, the sisters were able to offer a wider variety of dishes. The dhaba, though still modest, now felt warmer and more inviting. The villagers continued to frequent the dhaba, and word of the community support spread to nearby towns. One cold afternoon, a pair of travelers arrived at the dhaba. They were a young couple from a nearby town, dressed in winter clothes and looking weary. They entered the dhaba, seeking warmth and a meal. Suman and Meena welcomed them with a hot pot of tea and fresh parathas. The couple, named Raj and Aarti, were traveling to visit family and had stopped at the dhaba to rest. As they enjoyed their meal, Raj struck up a conversation with Suman and Meena. He asked about their struggles and the recent repairs. The sisters shared their story, including the support they had received from the community. Raj, moved by their story, offered to help. "I'm a businessman and I have connections with suppliers. If you need any additional help or resources, I can arrange it." Suman and Meena were surprised and grateful for the offer. Raj exchanged contact information with them and promised to follow up after their return. With Raj's promise, Suman and Meena felt a renewed sense of hope. They continued to run the dhaba with the support of the community and the improvements made by Prakash. The warmth of the repaired dhaba, combined with the increased variety of food, attracted more customers. One day, as the sisters were closing up for the evening, Raj returned with a shipment of supplies and a letter. The letter contained a donation from Raj's business, which was more than they had hoped for. "We're grateful for your support and for what you're doing for the community," Raj wrote. "This donation is to help with the repairs and any other needs you may have." Suman and Meena were overjoyed. They used the funds to complete the remaining repairs and improve the overall condition of the dhaba. The once battered eatery was now a cozy and inviting place. As winter approached its end, the village prepared for the Festival of Lights, a celebration that marked the arrival of spring. The festival brought joy and excitement to the villagers, and Suman and Meena decided to join in the festivities. The dhaba was decorated with colorful lights and flowers. They prepared special dishes for the festival, including sweets and savory snacks. The celebration brought together villagers and visitors alike, creating a lively and cheerful atmosphere. During the festival, the dhaba was bustling with activity. People gathered to enjoy the food and festivities. The sense of community was palpable, and the sisters felt a deep sense of satisfaction and belonging. As spring arrived, the weather warmed and the village began to recover from the harsh winter. The dhaba, now fully repaired and thriving, had become a symbol of resilience and community spirit. Suman and Meena looked back on the challenges they had faced and the support they had received. The experience had strengthened their bond with the villagers and taught them the true meaning of community. With a renewed sense of purpose, the sisters continued to run the dhaba, serving their patrons with warmth and dedication. The once frosty winter had transformed into a new beginning, filled with hope and promise for the future. If you like the story, then subscribe, share, and press the bell icon of the channel for more interesting stories.